So yeah, it's going to get interesting soon.
Yeah, it's already kind of been interesting and quite a ride. And so just watching the price of Algorand, it's
Yeah,
definitely on its way to recovery. And in looking at the chart, you could definitely see when the post announcement, from the SEC, and that still kind of burns me a little bit because it was like kind of half-handed because it came out in these letters to the exchanges, not necessarily, and I'm making an accusation that they're selling unregistered securities instead of going after, like, say, Algorand Foundation per se. You know, it's like they went after they went for after Ripple, for XRP, but they
I
didn't go
see.
after Coinbase for XRP.
Right.
You know, it's just like that's where it's just like in the price action of how that all fell out. Just is like okay, and I'm kind of happy that Coinbase, as Mark Strong was like, yeah, we're just going to leave these listed and we're going to fight you on it.
Uh, I don't know. I still think some sort of regulate, like, it's not, I don't know, not necessarily regulation, but regulation, I guess. Just, I, I struggle with the fact that this could replace banks. And I think that's the problem is the government doesn't want that to happen. So if, like, that's why I think XRP potentially, the way they're trying to do things is a little bit different. The way they're trying to converge with the current banking system, and then ultimately maybe it can replace the banking system. It's got to be I think it's got to be a slow process. It can't just happen like a switch. You know what I mean? It can't just go from like the banking system to this to the crypto system, the blockchain system. That's why I think they're kind of, the fact that they got out of the lawsuit was helpful. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm just with the whole with XRP and what's going to look like here with this run and just like in the long term and stuff like that too.
Eh, maybe. I mean, we'll see. Is it's like when it goes the other way, when governments want to screw over their citizens, it kind of it does kind of happen quick. You
Yeah.
know, uh, kind of like
Well, no, I get that. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
well, when the Federal Reserve started, and they one of the first things they did was, did this actually happen during World War One? But basically, they made gold illegal. They were like, hey, for the war effort, turn over all your gold. We're going to give you Federal Reserve notes. And then after everybody was bound by the deadline of after everybody having to turn in their gold, the smart people kept it. Broke the law, but they were smart, and I
Right.
think what is happening unconstitutional. But either way, different line of reasoning. But it was just like when the gold when the exchange happened, it was $25 an ounce. When the gold window closed, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, okay, gold window's back open, but now the gold's valued at $35 an ounce. Instant devaluation.
Yeah.
It's just like, would I really have any heartburn if the Federal Reserve just suddenly pop and went away tomorrow?
No. But some would. So
I mean, some would. No,
some very powerful people would. So that's the problem.
let them have their aneurysm.
Yeah. But they got to put the government's got to make their money on this somehow. I think, and so they got to put some sort of regulation on it. They got to have some sort of control over it. It's just figuring out what it's going to be, and I think that's part of why we're seeing what we're seeing happening with the SEC. So I don't know.